Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alex and I'm here to talk to you about solar lead generation and especially solar lead generation with media buying, meaning that with Facebook ads and with YouTube. And so in this video, I would like to line out to you all of the scams, pretty much what all agencies do first. Secondly, the industry standards. And thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the processes, why some processes do work and why some other processes doesn't work. And so with that being said, I would like to start from behind. So let's just start with the process. And so what you have to understand is that this market is super saturated regarding to the marketing side, meaning that every single marketer uh, enters into the solar space. And I will be honest with you, this is super easy to set up some ads to run for solar. You can actually steal all of your competitors' copies. You can steal all of their creatives, and you can just simply set up your own ads, pretty much run ads and sell the leads. And this is what it is such a huge problem. Solar is super easy to market because you have like two or three angles and you have battle tested formulas ranging back to like 2017. So this thing has been running for a long time, perhaps even before that. And so the whole idea is that it is super easy. It doesn't really require any additional skills for you to get into marketing solar. And that is also true for you. If you'd like to learn solar marketing, solar Facebook ads, then it wouldn't take you more than 2 hours. And so with that being said, it is super easy. And what we all see is that there are these 17, 18-year-old guys who actually hop into the solar marketing, quote unquote, and they're just doing this whole thing, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but they have no clue what they're doing, and they definitely do not have the perspective regarding to the whole business and the whole rundown of the business. And so, with that being said, this is perhaps the one of the greatest things that I do see is that this is like a super saturated market. Everyone is selling solar leads because it's just so easy. You're just stealing a few copies, a few creatives, and you're just setting up your own ads. And so most of the time, the problem begins that since everyone is doing the same thing, you end up wasting your money with most of these companies. And let me explain to you why it happens. And excuse me, but I couldn't really make this thing bigger. Whatever. So here's the process in a nutshell, okay? So what most people forget is that this is a two-part process, meaning that the very first part of the process is lead generation, while the second part of the process is lead nurturing. Also, there are more sub parts for this. I would like to name at least five, which would be lead generated, qualified lead, lead that we've been able to connect with, lead that we've been able to set up an appointment with, and lead that did show, and also the acquisition, which would be the close. And so with that being said, I would like to just simply debunk it to two aspects, which would be first lead generation and secondly lead nurturing. And so the most important part is that mostly lead generation might be on point, but when lead nurturing is not on the point, meaning that we do not know to properly qualify the lead, we do not know how to properly vet those leads to an appointment, then we actually waste money and waste resources. Since this is already a competitive market, and since everyone is doing that, everyone is running the same ads, everyone is getting the same leads, the lead is getting shared at least 10 times because this is how Facebook's algorithm works. Someone clicks on a solar ad and he will see 10,000 other solar ads next day. And so he'll be clicking on all of this, and most of the times he'll be just price shopping. And you wouldn't like to win them on the back end, but how you can win them, how you can win most of these people is by actually going through a proper lead nurturing sequence. So what does that mean? How you can actually beat the competition if you're running the same ad, if you're running the same market, you're pretty much running the same copies and creative because the market has been testing out pretty much all the angles that it can potentially. What you can do is be better with the follow-up, with the lead nurturing, and with the sales with others. And so let me show you how you can do that. So the very first trick, or I wouldn't say trick, but good practice, is to call the leads as soon as they've been opted in. And so many, very few companies do that. But the companies and the clients that we're working with do that. They have like tremendously way better results. And so with that being said, the actual idea is that someone is knocking on your door, someone is signing up for your form, and you'll be just immediately calling them, hey man, we saw that you would like to go solar. Do you have 2 minutes to discuss this wonderful opportunity, so on and so forth? And so you are just setting up an appointment with them manually. So that's the best thing that can happen. Also, what we do see is that if we are structuring the funnel in a way where people can already book an appointment, then that would mean that the guys will actually go ahead and book those appointments, and those will be hot leads, hot appointments. And also, we see that when someone goes and books an appointment with a lead nurturing sequence, which is super simply sending them a few texts and message emails. Um, we are also able to book pretty solid appointments that way too. But with that being said, this is perhaps the most important way how you can actually beat your competition, like period. You just simply have to manually call them, you just simply have to be better with the follow-up, and so on and so forth. So this is regarding to the process. And now that we understand that this is a saturated market with really, really small room with a really, really small room, we also need to understand the actual market and the market metrics. So this is what is happening in the solar space now. Just recently talked with a client of mine, and we've been looking at their closing rate. And their closing rate came flat 5%. Okay? So out of the 200 leads that we sent to them, they've been able to close 5%, right? So that means that you supposed to have proper expectations. Meaning that out of those 200 leads, he's been able to close only 10. And so when you have these improper expectations because you just don't understand the market and the metrics, then you will eventually be like, hey, I just received 10 leads and they don't work. No, they don't work because this is a process. Okay, so first you have to make sure that you're doing everything on the lead generation side, meaning that all the ad copies and ad creatives, which will be the first part, are all on point. They are not promising free solar, no money up front. Excuse me, that's true, but government pays for solar. All the crap. It's like this is not like lying. Okay. Secondly, what is super, super important is to actually make sure that you are going hard with the calling the lead as soon as possible thing. So it's like the lead follow-up thing. And so when the lead generation and the lead nurturing process is all dialed in, then we can see a 5% rate, again, with a good sales presentation and a good sales script. So meaning that knowing this number would eventually give you an idea of what is happening. And so this is the 5% is with a good process. And with not a good process, this is what happens most of the time. It's like your leads are coming from a source where the guy just was just like pretty much copy and pasting all the creatives and the copies. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He doesn't even know about the qualifying process. Now you're just simply getting a few leads. You're not even following up with them. The leads are just simply falling apart. And since you're already working with such a low conversion rate, then you'll be falling apart. So your conversion rate will be like 2%, and your sample rate will be too small. So it means meaning that you will be getting like 100 leads a month, and you will not be able to close any of those 100 leads, and you will be just like desperate that, hey man, like I haven't been able to close one lead, or you've been able to close one, but you haven't been making your money back, and so on and so forth. All these horror stories out there. And so this is the reason why. Because first, it requires a proper process, and when you have the proper process, it requires obviously the proper lead nurturing, excuse me, the lead generation and the lead nurturing, and also knowing the actual um, uh, conversion percentage. And so another super important metric that we are supposed to be talking about is lead cost. And so lead cost currently on the market is between $25 to $30, but I would say that between $25 to $40, depending on the areas and the locations. And so this is also another super important metric that you have to understand. These are the lead prices. Most of the times, the lead per appointment show rate is about I would say 50%. No, no, no. The leads to appointment schedule ratio is between 30 to 50%. This really, really depends on the process. And the show rate is between, so yeah, the show rate is around 50% if you're super good, but sometimes it's just only 25%. So it all depends. And yes, the closing rate is again varied, but that is also another like 25%. So you can understand how this 200 leads drops to 100 like so easily. And now with that being said, you can now see the process. And now that you are able to see the process and now you know the metrics, you will have to determine that this is a competitive market. And the most important thing that we can do to you guys is to actually make sure that we also do have skin in the game. And so the only way that we can do that is to actually give you an offer where we actually have to perform in order for us to get paid. And so this is why here at Solarnet.cc, we are aiming to set you up the system. We will need your help only with the ad spend, and we will be only getting paid if you're getting paid. And so our main offer is that we'll be helping you to close 5 deals in the first month by you only covering the ad spend or all of your money back. So this is what we can come up with, guys. And so this is because we are super, super confident in our processes. We understand the industry, we understand the metrics, and we'd like to give you a service that is unique, that is battle tested, and comes with an offer that actually serves you guys too and us too. And this is how we'd like to make money together with you guys. So with that being said, I hope this helped. I hope this made you clear a few questions that you might have in your head. And see you in the next one.